Holly picks, Holly picks. What have I gotten myself into? Whoa, Holly picks, yeah, Holly picks. She picks my shirt, she picks my shoes. We'll be all across the country, just like a ride down Route 66. So Saturday at noon, this is where to tune, right here at Holly Picks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to, I believe this is episode 4 of Holly Picks. It's very exciting. Thank you all for being here again on this beautiful Saturday. I know that, I've been starting off the episodes with a funny skit or something a little silly, but given that this has been a very heavy week for America, I think that it's appropriate that we start this episode off a little bit more seriously. And also at the end of the day, it's my show and this is how I want to start it. So I thought I would just make a little speech about what has happened in America this past week. Okay, I'm sure most people are aware of the horrible injustice which occurred this past Monday in Minneapolis. An unarmed, handcuffed George Floyd was killed at the hands of one police officer while 3 other officers stood silently and watched. Unfortunately, incidents like this continue to happen all around the United States. I hoped that tragedies like these would be stuck in history books and that by the time my generation found its voice as young adult advocates, we wouldn't still have to be hearing about events like this and Black Americans wouldn't still have to be experiencing them. And that's the big difference, hearing about them versus experiencing them. I believe that to be silent is to be complicit. So it's time for everyone to speak up with love in their hearts and equality and justice on the forefront of their minds. This is not a political issue, it's a human issue. So what more can we do besides speaking up, educating ourselves, and having difficult conversations with family and friends? Well, we can donate to wonderful organizations like the Minnesota Freedom Fund. It's a non-profit organization that pays cash bails for those who can't afford them as they speak to end discriminatory, coercive, and oppressive jailing. It takes 1 minute. All you have to do is go to www.minnesotafreedomfund.org/donate and give what you can. I've donated, my family's donated, my friends have donated. If we can all just get one other person to donate, this can keep going and keep going. What the world needs now more than ever is love and togetherness. And something that I find always brings people together is music. And that's why we are so lucky that we get to do a show that is based around positivity and music. So now that being said, I hope everyone will take 2 minutes out of their day to go to the website that's on the screen and donate. But with that, we are going to get into our show today. So here we go. Switching things up a little bit more to the music side of things. My first and only guest is never the last person to leave a party. In fact, he's probably already in bed before anyone even arrives. He enjoys Curb Your Enthusiasm marathons, a good helping of Brussels sprouts, and a very long story with unnecessary details that don't contribute to the plot line. Coming to us all the way from the jacuzzi, Kevin Cronin.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, you really right out of the.
Thank you so much.
Literally from the jacuzzi.
Yeah, it's invigorating.
Yeah.
It kind of calms me down a little bit. It's a
Totally.
little nerve-wracking being the only guest
I know,
at
on a
talk
show. There's a lot of expectations for you.
Exactly. Week
Yes.
after week. But
I know.
it's good to be here again. Good to see you,
Good to
Holly.
see you. It's been a
I
while.
know. How you doing? How's everything?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good.
All
Yes.
right. Excellent. Well, cool.
Oh, and we have added kind of a new catchphrase to Holly's Picks.
I don't think it's necessary, but
let me explain to the people. I think they'll think it's necessary. We really want to get to as many questions as we can, including the live questions. And, this guy here tends to be a little bit long-winded, if you know what I mean. So if my dad starts going on and on and on answering a question, I've got a line that can make him just get right to the point, and I go, bottom line me. That means you've been chitter-chattering for too long, gotta answer the question, okay? So if you hear me say that, That's what I mean, Dad. No offense.
Right, none
You like to
taken.
tell a good story.
None taken. You know what? On that note,
Cheers.
let's get this party started.
Let's get it started. Alrighty,
Whoa.
Here we go.
The good stuff this
good
week.
stuff.
Thanks, Holly.
All right, so these are some fan questions that have come in since last night, the last 24
Should I move
hours.
this on a little bit?
Okay,
Seems like it's
just needs more camera time, it seems. Yeah, push me out of the shot.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. High Infidelity 1980 from Instagram asks, how would you describe yourself in 5 words?
Let's see, in 5 words. Wow. Let's see. Well, handsome, eloquent,
That's 2.
anxiety-filled.
Okay, I'll count that as 3.
Okay. Loving and musical. Really?
Correct.
Excellent. Oh, that was tough.
Tough.
Boy, you just like start out right to the jugular.
I never said it was going to be easy on you.
I know. It's getting harder and harder every week.
All right, Brittany Catherine from Facebook asks, okay, well, this was technically a question for me, but I didn't feel like I could answer it because I don't remember. It says, Holly, when was the very first time you saw the band play live?
Oh.
But I don't know.
I think you might remember when I tell you when you were, I think you were 1 year old. Mom took you to New Orleans, Louisiana, and the band played at the House of Blues down there in the French Quarter. And you were up in the dressing room with Mom. And from the dressing room at the House of Blues, you can look down at the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I would look up, and Mom would hold you up in the window so I could see you. So that was your first time in New
I have
Orleans.
0 recollection of that, but it sounds like a beautiful story. Okay, question number 3. Lee Hallworth from Facebook asks, do you have any great memories from the UK tours?
Oh, yeah. We always have fun over it because my first musical influences were British. So, but the one that stands out, we played at 2 nights at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. I believe it was 1985. And on the second night, we were surprised in our encore when Brian May of Queen and John Entwistle of The Who came out and joined us for our encore of Johnny Be Good. And sadly, no one recorded it, because I would love to have a recording of that show.
But also at the same time, it's good that no one recorded it because it means everyone was locked in, you know?
Those who were there remember.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from people who were at that show, just because it almost seems like I dreamed it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But to have those 2 iconic musicians who influenced me. So anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, correct. Good job. Okay. Kevin Drozd from Facebook asks, Kevin, if you weren't a musician, what line of work would you be in and why?
Man, you know, I kind of never had a plan B. I mean, if in my fantasy world, I would be an attorney that fights for the underprivileged, the oppressed, and someone who is unjustly accused. And I would be the guy that goes into court and gets him off. That would be my.
That's a great occupation.
Right.
Correct. That deserves like 2 rings.
All
Do
right.
another one.
Right.
Good. Okay, good.
And we were looking for one of those ringers like
know,
a hotel.
the hotel
has.
bells,
I know.
but
this is the best
our
we can
production
do.
staff is short, so
I know. Our budget's low.
you know, when I'm the writer, director, host, production staff, it's like, can only do so many things. Okay. Michael Collier from Facebook asks, oh, this one's for me.
Oh.
I gotta throw some for me in there too. A lot of people are curious.
Well, it's it. You get to pick.
It's my show.
Yeah.
Okay, so he asks, Holly, would you be interested in a reality TV show about you and your life around the Cronin circus? And I know why I picked this question. It's because we've had so many instances where things have happened in our life where we have just thought, why is there not a camera crew here? Like, and we have a joke where we call it crashing with the Cronins. So whenever something crazy like that happens, or there's an experience where we feel like this would make a great reality TV show, we say crashing with the Cronins. So the answer is yes, I would love to be on a reality TV show. Okay, question number 6. Oh, man, I picked tough last names. Kevin Trushensky, I'm sorry if I butchered that. I think it's Trushensky, from Instagram says, What are the best strategies for keeping the fire burning?
Wow. I think you have to have faith in the fire. You have to stay close to it so that it keeps you warm. And you have to never lose your yearning to keep the fire burning all night long.
I like how there really is no correct answer. We've just decided.
Yes.
I decide whether it's correct or not.
Exactly.
Based on my own opinion.
Hey, how? Sure.
Just the way the cookie crumbles, everyone. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Just pretty much how life is around here.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, let's face it. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, drink to that. Okay. Okay. Lisa Swazo from Facebook asks, which REO album was the hardest to name and why?
Which was the hardest to name? Well, I think that we were almost exactly 40 years ago now. We were writing songs, rehearsing, and recording for our 10th studio album. And the songs kind of had a common theme running through them. A lot of us were kind of going through similar challenges in our relationships and our home life, because we had been touring constantly for the past 4 years. And then whenever we were off the road, we'd be in the studio. So I was driving down the Ventura Freeway, my convertible top down, on my way to the studio. And it was that time where we got to come up with a name for this album because the artwork needs to start getting done.
Right.
And we had all these names on the dry erase board, and none of them were really any good. Driving down the freeway, and it was as if this album title dropped out of the sky into my lap. Mm-hmm. And I thought, High Infidelity. And I was like, that's it. That's it. And
sometimes you just know.
Yeah, I just knew. But I also knew that.
Did all the band members agree when you said it? Were they like, yes?
No. When I said it, there was silence in the room because you got to remember, this is 1980 thing. So that was a pretty controversial, high infidelity,
right.
Sex and drugs right there, and REO's image had always been kind of the Midwestern boys next door. So it was
risky.
It was a little risky, but I believed in it, and everyone finally got on board, and it's become.
That was a good choice.
I think it worked out pretty well.
Pretty well there.
Good question, though.
Yeah, correct. I know that was a good question. See, I pick good questions.
You do, Holly.
And people submit good questions,
yes.
So I wouldn't have good ones to pick if good ones weren't submitted. Okay, another hard last name. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, question number 8. Rob Dalrymple.
Dalrymple.
That looks right.
Dalrymple. Dalrymple.
Yeah, easy.
You never heard of that name before?
We got one. All right, but he's from Facebook, and he asks, where were you when you first heard an REO song on the radio, and what song was it?
Well, you know what? The one that comes into my mind, and I doubt if it was the first one, but I was driving again. I used to live in Woodland Hills. I was driving down the mountain from my home, and Roll With the Changes came on the radio. It was the first time I'd heard that song on the radio, and whatever was going through my brain at that particular moment, it literally brought me to tears. And I think it was partially just what was going on in my life at that time, mm-hmm. and just partially we had put so much time and energy into recording that song, and that song had taken me on such a journey personally, mm-hmm. that to hear it on the radio, I just kind of thought, wow, I'm in my car listening to KLOS radio in Los Angeles, and there's probably thousands of other people driving around the city right now listening to it with me, and it just kind of overwhelmed me.
Yeah, I mean, that is what I do miss about listening to the radio, is you kind of knew that when you were listening to a song, you were kind of weirdly connected to a bunch of other people that you didn't even know. Now that everyone has their own playlist, which is great, it's not the same kind of connection. But
I agree,
yeah,
I feel the same way.
That must have been pretty cool. Correct. Okay.
If I must say so myself.
Okay, here we go. Annie Higgerty from Facebook asks, if you could do it all again, what would you do differently? Side note, please come back to the UK.
I would love to come back to the UK. I would
love to go with you to the UK.
Yeah, you would love it, Holly.
Well, when we were in London, it was like,
I know.
Oh, I just felt like I fit right in.
Well,
also, I do a mean British accent, so
And you're also kind of attracted to men with a British accent too.
Dad,
I'm
you
just
don't
saying.
need to expose me on our live streams.
What was the question again?
Kind of forgot. Okay. Oh, if you could do it all again, what would you do differently?
Wow. You know, I think most people watching this know that I'm writing a book. I actually started writing the book.
If we haven't plugged that enough already. In case you didn't know.
You didn't know. But seriously, what was the question again? But okay, what would I do differently? Well, you know, writing a book about kind of my life story and it's the REO Speedwagon story from my perspective. There are a lot of things that in hindsight I might do differently,
Mm-hmm.
but the truth is that everything I did, every choice I made, some of them were more controversial than others, and I write about them in the book.
Mhm.
It's all the truth, nothing held back. But
If you have to give people a sneak peek of one of the things, what would it be?
well, right now I've been working on the chapter, which is around where Gary and I kind of
Mhm.
parted ways.
Yeah.
And I've been, I would say stuck, but it's not so much stuck as much as I really want to get this right,
Mhm.
because Gary's not with us anymore. He doesn't have a chance to tell his side of the story. So
Totally.
I need to tell both sides of the story as best I can.
Mhm.
So I really want to get this right. And
Yeah.
your mom is helping me. Your mom is awesome.
Yeah,
she
she
like-
should be an editor.
I know. She kind of is
Yeah.
in this book. You know, she just asks me questions. And so bottom line, everything that I did got me where I am today. And I'm more at peace now than I've ever been.
Mhm.
And so I guess it all kind of, it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
As Nani would
As
say.
Nani would say.
Yes. Correct. Okay, question number 10. This is going to be our last pre-submitted question, and we're going to do a quick round of word association and then to the live questions.
Jeez, wait a minute. I'm going to start drinking. I got to start drinking now.
Correct.
Wow.
Okay, so question number 10. This one actually came in through snail mail. This was via a letter, a physical letter that I received.
Wow.
It is from a man named Keith Olson, and he submitted a lot of questions, but I thought the one that I wanted to know the most was, which band member is the best cook?
Which band member is the best cook? Let me think.
I can tell you which one isn't.
Hey, easy. The best cook, I think I would have to say that Bruce is perhaps the grill master general.
I could see that,
You
with
know?
the hair. And
Yeah, and
the
he comes from
vibe.
Southern Illinois,
Yeah.
like grew up on a, I don't know if he grew up on a farm. I think his grandparents had a farm that Bruce perhaps
He's associated
worked on.
to a farm in some way, shape, or
And he
form.
loves to be outside and to
Yeah.
barbecue. So I would have to say that most of us do most of our cooking through room service. So I guess that, strictly speaking, doesn't count.
Does not count.
It doesn't count. All right. Well,
So if you were at a barbecue, Bruce would be the guy
Bruce
that
would
you
be the
want
guy.
there. All right,
Bruce
that
would be
makes
the guy.
sense. That makes sense. All right, so that was the last of our pre-submitted questions. Now we're going to go to a little segment I call word association.
Wow, new segment.
A new segment.
This is so
I'm
exciting.
pulling out all the stuff.
I didn't even know that this was happening today.
You don't know that any of this is happening.
This is so amazing.
Honestly, I'm surprised that you agreed to this. You literally come here not knowing anything that I'm going to say.
I know. I didn't have time to get dressed today.
Clearly.
Well, you didn't pick anything out for me.
Well,
What do you expect?
I had a lot of stuff to do. Okay, so this is word association. So I'm going to say a word, and you have to say the first word that comes to your head.
I hate these.
I'm going to say it with you. Maybe think it through for just a second before you say it.
Why would you say that?
I'll just say it. Okay, here we go. You ready?
All right.
First thing that comes to your mind. Guitar.
Pick.
Graham cracker.
Milk.
Universe.
Amazing.
Tour.
Miss it.
Hair gel.
Lots of it
Love.
is all we need.
Super cool daughter.
Holly.
Correct. All correct. All right, so now we are going to transfer over. That was
Wait,
good.
I know.
I don't give you enough credit. I really don't.
No, I just need to tell
It's harder than it looks, people. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Especially that thing about daughter. how was I going to get that?
I know.
That was
It
tough.
just came out of nowhere. All right, so now are you cool? We move on to the live questions?
All right, okay.
All right, so we are going to.
Hey, we've had no technical glitches at all.
I know.
Thanks to John Luini,
Thank
our
you. Yes,
remote producer.
Our technical wizard
Technical
that lives
wizard.
behind the screen.
Exactly.
All right, let's see here. Okay, you know what? This one is straightforward. That's another hard last name.
Okay, Sandy Schmolinger.
Schmolinger.
Yes.
From Facebook.
Oh, Schmolinger dash Wape.
Walp. Walp, Wape.
Okay, Walp. Yes.
Sandy from Facebook asks, can Kevin do cartwheels?
Well, didn't we try that the other day? Didn't we? Remember we were sitting out at the picnic table?
Oh, yes.
And there was we were playing a drinking game.
We were.
Yeah, that was an awesome game. What was that called?
Oh, I
you
can't
had to
remember.
pick a card but whatever it was, everyone
had to do
either had to do a cartwheel or drink.
Yes.
And I think I could have.
We all did a cartwheel, so
Right.
it would have been a bad move if you would have just taken a drink.
Right.
So you had to make the attempt.
I did.
I have it on video. If you want to see it, leave a comment below.
I don't think the bell rings on that one.
Okay, let's see.
This is fun. Look at all these awesome
I know.
people.
Yeah, I mean, you can help if you see one that you're really digging.
How about from Facebook, DJ Milam, and DJ asks,
how did Gary change the music for the band?
well, Gary's influence in the band was that he was the real deal. He walked the walk, talked the talk. He was the genuine item when it came to being a rocker. And the thing, but he also had another side of himself because he was born and raised outside Peoria in downstate Illinois. He was a bit of a country boy, and he learned how to play guitar from his uncle Leroy, who was a country picker. So Gary had this image of being the stud, Les Paul slung low with the fringe guitar, slap rocker, but he also had this country side of him. And
you guys do have a bit of a country sound. Like I've
do.
noticed when you perform, sometimes I hear a lot of
look, check this
country
out.
influences.
I mean, if you listen to heard it from a friend who, think about if this were a country song. Heard it from a friend who, heard it from a friend who, heard it from another you've been messing around.
Yeehaw!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Gary had that side of him. So he brought a little country into REO Speedwagon. Not too many people would have guessed that. But
And it's a good sound. It makes for a great sound.
it does. It
All right,
helps.
let's see.
Oh,
Where?
Lisa Miller.
Lisa Miller. Okay. I rode the storm out for the Tuna Fish tour at Kansas City Royals Stadium. Lightning and thunder. Place went crazy. Do you remember that stormy night?
Not only do I remember it, Lisa, but it really helps when people who were there kind of mention it because it was such a surreal event. It was an all-day festival, packed baseball stadium in Kansas City. There was, I think, Ted Nugent came on, then Fleetwood Mac, and then we followed Fleetwood Mac. We were the headliner that night. It was a big show.
Yeah.
But it was bad weather all day long. So we were just about to go on, and we started, and it looked ugly. So I pulled an audible, and I thought, let's open with Riding the Storm Out, just in case we don't get too far.
Yeah.
We got about halfway through the song, and the stage power went out.
Wow.
And so they made an announcement over the house PA system that a tornado had touched down within 2 miles of the stadium, and everyone from the upper deck needed to come down and take shelter. So, but nobody was leaving. So I'm standing at the side of the stage. The promoters say, we gotta end this. We gotta get people out of here.
Yeah.
And they announced that people should leave, but no one did. And I saw it, and I thought, you know what? If they're gonna stay, we're gonna stay. So I walked out on stage, grabbed my guitar tech's flashlight and held it over my head so that people knew that we were still there.
Yeah.
And the place went bananas. And we
That's
just waited for about 10 or 15 minutes. Lisa, you would probably remember better. But we ended up playing, and that was the one and only time that we ever opened the show with Riding the Storm Out and closed the show with Riding the Storm Out. So thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that.
Great story, Dad.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Janet Burns from Facebook asks, hello from Spokane, Washington. How did you injure your foot while in Spokane? You gave us such a great show.
Was that in Spokane? Oh, my goodness. Where I thought it was in Oklahoma. This must be a different time.
Have you injured your foot more than once?
Evidently, I have. I don't recall injuring my foot in Spokane. I'll be perfectly honest. I did.
Maybe it was injured when you were in Spokane.
Right. Yes.
You injured it before, and then when you went to Spokane.
Yes, we were touring with Chicago. I made a quick stage move. It was in Oklahoma City, tore a calf muscle, but I finished out the tour with one of those giant plastic boots.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. I sat on a stool, kind of like we're sitting on. It was the hardest thing in the world because here's an REO Speedwagon show. Everybody's rocking, running around the stage, and I'm sitting on a
basically doing
chair.
an acoustic performance.
But then about a few weeks later, coincidentally, our friend Dave Grohl had a similar injury with the boot on his foot, and he built this gigantic throne. Remember that? He had like a throne on stage with like a mic stand attached, and I'm like,
well, next time. It happens again.
I almost want to hurt myself purposely.
Just one more time, yeah. All right, maybe let's do one more question, and then we're going to finish the episode out with a song.
Really? Are we already there?
I mean, it's been 30 minutes.
Really? All right.
No, time flies when you're having fun.
Okay, all the questions just disappeared.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, the SpaceX Falcon has launched. That's right.
A real-time update on Holly Picks. Breaking news.
Breaking news on Holly Picks.
Wow.
The SpaceX, Falcon 9 has launched.
I'll drink to that.
I will drink to that as well.
Wow.
That's crazy. First time since, I think, 2011 that we've launched on U.S. soil, right?
Could be. And of course, my good friend, who I told you about the other day, Colonel Doug Waylock, was he was the commander of the U.S. space station.
Right.
He was on a 6-month mission up there. And you may remember, it was maybe about 10 years ago.
I can already tell this is going to be a bottom line in the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the bottom line? Well, the first music that Colonel Doug ever bought was an 8-track tape of the REO Speedwagon High Infidelity album. So he brought 2 copies into space with him. And to bring anything onto the space station, because it's such cramped quarters, NASA has to,
you got to pick and choose.
Every cubic inch so to bring 2 8-track tapes on, you might as well be bringing an elephant.
Right.
But they allowed him to do it. He came back and he signed one and gave it to me, and I signed the other one and gave it to him. And it was the beginning of a friendship, which remains to this day. So I'll bet you Colonel Doug is really happy about that we're back exploring space, because so many, we go up to explore space, but we find cures for diseases, and we learn so much about life on Earth.
Yeah. So, and I realized in my word association, I chose the word universe, not even thinking about.
Oh, you knew somehow.
I was connected. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Well, we are coming on 12:30 here, you guys. I think it might be time for us to end with a song. And we were, usually we do an REO Speedwagon song at the end of every episode because it's very fitting. But for this week, again, giving everything that's been going on in America, all around the world, we wanted to sing this song specifically. We learned it yesterday, so if we mess up, just remember that. And it's a really, really great song, and we hope you all enjoy.
Yeah, and everyone can sing along at home.
Yeah, very true.
2, 3, 4. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done.
Nothing you can sing that can't be sung.
Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made.
No one you can save who can't be saved.
Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time.
show.
There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy.
All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love.
Everybody.
All you need is love. Everybody. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! All you need is love.
All you need is love.
Love
everyone.
one another.
Tune in next week. We will maybe have a special guest with us, a mystery guest.
I believe we have something
Something lined
percolating.
up.
Yes.
So tune in next week, everyone, and have an amazing weekend. All you
Thank
need is
you.
love.
Ah, ah. Holly picks, Holly picks. What have I gotten myself into? Whoa, Holly picks, yeah, Holly picks. She picks my shirt, she picks my shoes. We'll be all across the country, just like a ride down Route 66. So Saturday at noon, this is where to tune, right here at Holly Picks.